Good morning. We're going to do a celebration of our first whole year in lockdown in the UK. Now, I'm sure many of us can identify with this. Let's go back to 1972. Deliverance. This film is about four city friends who decide to take a canoeing break down a large inland river, which is quite rocky in places. And they go through some quite remote rural areas. The local people there seem, well, unsophisticated and uneducated, living a remote life far from the city, and also far from any modern accepted ways of worldly thinking. They appear quite ugly and uncouth, most of them in need of dental attention. At the start of the film, there's a scene where one of the men plays an acoustic guitar to duet with a local youngster who skillfully plays a banjo, and the tune that they play is known as Dueling Banjos. The two canoes with two men in each make their way down the river, and at one point they beach up onto the riverbank each for a rest to catch each other up. Two of the local men, one armed with a very large firearm, start to intimidate a pair of the men alone. And just as their fun goes a little bit too far, the other pair of canoeists arrive, and one of them, played by Burt Reynolds, fires an arrow through one of the troublesome local men using a recurve bow. Happily, the irritatingly irksome local man dies as a result of the arrow being fired straight into and through him. So, problem solved. For now. The film was directed by John Boorman. The screenplay was written by James Dickey and is based on the original novel Deliverance, also by James Dickey. The cinematography of this film is very highly accomplished. John Boorman had rewritten James Dickey's script, and during the filming, James Dickey turned up drunk and argued and fought with Boorman about this, breaking Boorman's nose and some of his teeth. Dickey got thrown off the set, but then they made up and became quite good friends. Boorman then gave Dickey a cameo as the part of the sheriff here at the end of the film. The actors had to perform their own stunts because of the low budget, but also the production was not insured. In one scene, stunt coordinator thought the canoe with a dummy of Burt Reynolds in looked like a canoe with a dummy in it. So Burt persuaded them to reshoot it with him in the canoe instead. And Burt Reynolds suffered some minor physical damage, nearly drowned doing the stunt, and he had a broken coccyx as a result. And he asked how it looked, and the director said, "Like a canoe with a dummy in it." The phrase in the forest altercation scene, "squeal like a pig," was thought of by actor Ned Beatty while the two were improvising the scene. And because one of the crew suggested that his character shouldn't say anything, just squeal like a pig. So he turned that phrase into a line of dialogue to replace what was written. In the soundtrack, the song Dueling Banjos was released as a single at the time, enjoying quite high success in the charts for a while. The film credits mention that the song is an arrangement of another song, Feuding Banjos. However, the songwriter and producer Arthur Guitar Boogie Smith, who wrote Feuding Banjos in 1955, sued for a songwriting credit and a percentage of royalties, and was awarded them in a major copyright infringement case, as it was used without permission. John Boorman, the director, was given a gold record for the Dueling Banjos hit single, but this was stolen from his house in Ireland in a break-in by a gangster, Martin Cahill. And a later Boorman film, The General, 1998, was actually about Cahill, and it depicted this scene of him stealing the gold record. This was the film that took Burt Reynolds from just an actor to a household name. The young boy at the beginning who played the banjo, Billy Redden, he played the banjo in the Dueling Banjos scene but couldn't actually play the banjo properly. So someone else who could reached his arm in from behind, through the sleeves, to fret the strings while Billy plucked the strings. James Dickey, the author and screenwriter, trained Burt Reynolds for several days in how to shoot a bow, after which he became quite proficient at it. So, Deliverance, 1972. Thank you very much. Have a good day, everyone. Goodbye.